Hey guys, sup. This is what we do every Monday, coffee time discussion video, pretty much standard. And this is going to be about the YCS Philly, the aftermath, what did top, what it means for the meta, pretty much everything. So if you're new to coffee time, this is what we do pretty much every Monday. Sometimes we do it on Fridays, Wednesdays, whatever. It's always important to check the Facebook page and know when these are coming out in case, like, you know, you're into this. If you're not into this, don't worry, there's plenty of videos that you should be interested in because there are other videos. But pretty much this is going to be laid out like a podcast, so you're not going to really see cards in front of you. But there's a lot to talk about. The first thing I really want to talk about is that Trap Trick's Nightmare Hole is 20 to 30. The price may vary, it may drop to like 15 or something. Now, on a word of a subscriber named Alex, I think I've mentioned him quite a few times on Tech Tuesday. And the first Tech Tuesday that premiered about 3-4 weeks ago was Trap Trick's Nightmare Hole. And I took the advice from him. I'm glad I did. And it just proves that if you listen to people or you do a little searching for yourself, it's an amazing, amazing thing. So that's why I'm so, like, taking a minute and stepping back and be like, holy Tech Tuesday is actually pretty spot on. We can't call that tech no more because everyone's gonna be running it. So let's see the reason why everyone was trying to run it. In the top 32, from what I can recall, because I don't have it in front of me, there was 2 Evil Swarms, 2 Mythic Dragon Rulers, 2 Bujin, 2 Medolce, 9 Gyurgias, 9 Trap Tricks artifacts and hand variants, a Murmel, and Infernities. There were no Sylvan. Sylvan did not top. So pretty much what we can expect from that is Sylvan prices to start dropping a little. The other thing that did not top was Noble Knights. They were there. They did not top. Kokimiro Fire Fist did not top. That was at the event too. I did pay a lot of attention into what people were using and what I was getting from the event and who was going with what as much as I could prior to making this video. Hence why I didn't make the video on the weekend. Trap Trick's Nightmare Hole is 20 to 30 a piece, so that's like 90 a set, and that just blows my mind. It's easy to see why in top 32, but top 16 I think really matters a little more. Now, the Medolce player did win the event, but again, it's that top 16 really does matter thing. So I don't know how that's going to affect Angeli's price, because there was only 2 Medolces. But seriously though, I think the big surprise of the event is that Gyurgia did so well, number one. I personally was not expecting that. I figured, artifacts would take most of that. And kind of the way they did, Trap Trick's artifact hand, Nightmare Hole, Abuse of Doom took pretty much everything. That's pretty funny though. Medolce's did win the whole event though. I believe it had the hands. I'm not fully sure. Now, the craziest thing that drove me nuts was the amount of Trap Trick's Nightmare hand, I'm saying Nightmare, Trap Trick hand artifact variants that were there on the event. Fire and Ice hand are like the 2 biggest things that come out of the event. I think we're going to see a fluctuation of their prices along with Trap Trick's Nightmare Hole and pretty much like everything that goes with it. I think that's something that's pretty interesting. They were ran at 3 each for most decks, so that's also something to take away from the event. If you're going to basically net deck it or build it or play it or you're playing hands, try it at 3. They were playing at 3. I personally like 2 in mine. That was just me being me. But pretty much it's kind of like Tengu, but they're forced to destroy something, so you're having problems with that. You're going to see a lot on Dev Pro. Fair warning, you're probably going to see a lot. Now, the big surprise to me was Gyurgia. I knew they were top, but I didn't know that they were top like 9 out of 32. And then basically half of the top 32 was either Trap Trick's artifact hands or Gyurgia. That was ridiculous. I was like, what are the Gyurgia players running that they're being able to top so well? I mean, it's just like everyone wrote off the deck. I think that was the thing from what I was seeing from a lot of forums. A lot of different people were saying that Gyurgia are dead because artifacts will basically push them out of the meta in a way, push them down to 1.5. Soul Charge was all over this event. Curry Bandit was like really nowhere to be seen. in the top table. So that's something to also take away and think about. I think the only deck that was probably playing Curry Bandit, and I don't have the deck list in front of me, was probably Dragon Rulers, if they did, because I know they were running Soul Charge. I know that much. I think Madolche was the only deck not running Soul Charge. And the Mermaid player, I believe, I don't know if it was the one at top. One of them was playing Dragon Ice, because there was a lot of special summoning. Maxi was everywhere. And I'm looking at the Madolche deck list now. Just run over this real quick. It's like DD Crow, 2 Fire Hands, 2 Ice Hands, the 3 Angelies, the 3 Hoot Cakes, the 3 Mageline, the 3 Messengelato, and the 3 Pretty Cat, the Mewful, and 3 Maxi. That was his monster lineup. That's pretty interesting to say the least. I mean, I could understand why and everything, but that's pretty interesting. It was also 2 double summons, 2 of the fields, and only 1 of the continuous spell card, which the name I cannot remember. I think it's Ticket. Ticket and their field card. It was running the field at 2 and the Ticket at 1. 1 MST, no Dark Hole. Trap lineup was like Bottomless, 2 Breakthrough, Compulse, 2 D Prison, 2 Phoenix, the Lollapalooza trap card, Solemn Warning, and Trento. Now, Phoenix with Wind Blast, I could easily see why you would run it, but, you know, again, get rid of one of those deck cards. He was siding the other 2 hands in a DD Crow. Now, I think going in, he knew artifacts were going to be there, so the 1 main deck, DD Crow, not only sets up the Hoot Cake, but disrupts the opponent's strategy. And I think that's something interesting to take away from when it comes to this. He was also, for what I can make out, siding 3 Black Horns, the Dark Hole, and the 2 MSTs. So I don't think he was really all that concerned with back row too much, because pretty much he was like, play out of it, you know, go from there. He did a great job, though, piloting the deck. That's without question. I don't know the other deck lists as of yet, so I can't really comment about them. I know a lot of the Trap Tricks artifact hands pretty much look the same, and it's like, you got Search Power, you got Destruction Power, you got Back Row Power. It's a good deck. What I think it is that with the artifacts, it gets a lot of power. When it gets a lot of power, you get a card that basically has been in the shadows and only known as tech, and it comes out of the woodwork and goes nuts. And then everyone wants to have a copy for $3, and then the $3 easily turns into $30. 10 times the price. Just nuts. We'll have to see on Wednesday when I do the stock market video if it stays that way. That's pretty crazy, to say the least. Okay, one other thing I want to do is I want to break down some of the extra deck choices that this guy was running. He was running Direwolf. There was a lot of Direwolf at this event, and I was actually really happy to see that because, again, it's one of those cards that everyone rides off. But right now, it's still good. It's pretty bad in the artifact matchup. You know, I'd be lying to you if I said otherwise. He was running 2 101s that seemed to be popular, and he was running Abyss Dweller. Just the 1 Abyss Dweller and the 1 Extinction Knight. Now, not every single deck is going to be running the same Metro deck, but what I'm trying to break down is here. Oh, and he did have Ragnar Zero. Ragnar Zero was all over this event. It was hilarious stuff. And that does help with the matchup. I think the reason we didn't see more Madolche's top is because everyone was ready for them. But then again, you know, you sit here and you say, well, everyone's ready for artifacts. That's right, but not everyone was ready for the Trap Tricks version that everyone was hyping up secretly and like little by little. But I think that was like the surprise factor. It's gonna take another YCS to see if it happens again. I mean, I'm not calling the deck, you know, a one-time miracle. Honestly, I think more people are gonna play it. They're gonna define the deck more. They're gonna put choices in that stop meta choices more. Maybe that Yu-Gi-Oh matchup a little more. Like, it's pretty obvious, I don't want to sound the wrong way, that Madolche were at the event, but the other thing is, I just want to touch upon this again, is that Primal Origins, when it was released, was on a Friday, and by the time everyone got to Philadelphia, like, if you weren't local of Philadelphia, you had to travel to get to Philadelphia. Whether it be from New Jersey, New York, whatever, you know, the East Coast, the West Coast, whatever, the Middle Coast. The middle area, the Mountie Ranges. The point is, you did not have enough time to get the Mangelis, unless you were really lucky because your store opened like 20 cases. That's my standpoint on that. I feel that Konami should have made an exception released the pack early on that Tuesday for all stores. So that way the players could get their Angelis. That was a bad move on Konami. Because you want to promote Primal Origins. This is just me speaking me. You want to promote Primal Origins. The best way is to go with what sells the best. Now, besides obviously being artifacts, you want Madolche. But the other thing is, too, you want Sylvans. So maybe that's also a reason we haven't seen Sylvans. Maybe there weren't enough players playing Sylvans. Maybe not enough people had time to get to Sylvans. If you were at the event, let me know. I want to know what you were running and how it went for you. I'm being honest. I really do. As I said before, we're not seeing Fiendish Chain. We're seeing Breakthrough Skill. So I was right on that because of the artifact matchup Pallades. Now, I really just want to break down the Trap Tricks artifact hand build. Okay, besides if you, like, okay, the Fire and Ice hand I got like 20 things going on my head. I'm trying to say it all at once. Fire and Ice hands are what Mystic Tomato always wished it was. It is the perfect example of an evolution in floaters, like battle floaters, when they get destroyed by battle. It is an evolution of it. And that's why I think a lot of people are going to kind of overreact and go, oh my god, Fire and Ice hand need to be banned. They're not that hard to counter. I mean, if I don't have a monster on board and I play Dark Hole, or I play Dark Hole to get rid of the hands, and I don't have back row or front row, your hands aren't going to be summoning another one out. That's an inherent weakness already. The big thing, and I know this is going to spark a little bit of ban list discussion when I say this, is I think Soul Drain needs to come back, and if Trap Tricks really are going to be dominant for the rest of the format, then Heavy Storm could easily make its way back to counteract that. And they're not going to be hurt by it, and Pendulum's not going to be hurt by it, because when you think about it, can you Heavy Storm when your opponent's Pendulum? No. Or Pendulum summoning. You can't. Oh, but Ryu, it's gonna hurt them when they have the two on field. They go with the extra tick zone, they use them again. They burn out two more. That's the whole point if you have a Pendulum deck. You know, it's an inherent weakness that you're just going to have to deal with. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in July. I constantly feel July is going to be a heavy ban list, but that's going to be for a fully different discussion. I just wanted to take 1 second and mention that, you know, Soul Drain Heavy would make a huge difference. I know a lot of people won't agree with that. If you Heavy Storm a set 5 back row in a Heavy Storm format, usually it wasn't an issue unless they had Starlight Road. And that's something Pendulums can easily use, is just throw in Starlight Road. Hey, look, I got Stardust and I can protect them again. The main thing, though, that if Heavy Storm was to come back, just touching upon this, is artifacts would rise up in popularity, and that helps sells Primal Origins as if it's not selling enough already. As if. We have a deluxe edition coming out next month. We want you to buy more. Here's Heavy back at 1. You know, like 2 weeks later. Or a month later. It's just hilarious. This set has been dominant, and I find myself saying this every single May. The May set seems to have a reoccurring existence when it comes to the meta. Last example was Tachyon Galaxy. I think that was a year ago. I'm not sure. It's probably like 2 years ago. But we're still using Dragosax. We're still summoning that 108. We're still complaining about Dragon Rulers once in a while. Excuse me. Stomach disease. But as I said before, there's a lot of things that do affect the meta and things that don't. But sometimes it takes time for them to show their ugly little heads, not sound that way. But like I said, I feel Soul Drain at 3 would have stopped a lot of this stuff. Geargias are just still up there. You cannot put Geargia down. They're like the new Mermail. And that's kind of weird, because you would think that Mermails have a good matchup against Geargia, and Geargia, I don't know, again, I don't know if it's pure or Karakuri, but it's some form of Geargia. That's all I know right now. Some form of TCG Geargia, and it's pretty crazy. But those Trap Tricks, oh my. So, I just want to break this down for people who may not fully understand it. You summon Murillo, you get Surge. You set bunch of back row, you set that Trap Tricks Nightmare Hole. And a bunch of that back row is going to be artifacts. So if your opponent goes in and blinds MSTs, they're doomed. If they don't blind MST, they're doomed. That's pretty much the mindset when you play trap tricks. Especially with artifacts. And you add the hands into that with a reoccurring, and you could just ram stuff, blow up stuff, summon more, and just laugh while you control their back row. And then when you summon Diona, the new trap tricks, and you bring back Messengelado. You bring back Murillo. I'm just going to say Murillo for now. You bring back the one that searches, it's going to pop back row. Because when it's special summon, it pops back row. So it's kind of like a Stratos for trap tricks, which it is a Stratos for trap tricks. Now, we've seen a lot at this YCS event. Things we did not see were Sylvans. So here's my idea running through my head right now. Do you think at the next event we'll see Sylvans, or do you think it'll be after a ban list that takes out half the meta right now that Sylvans actually start topping? Do you think that they're going to be a threat later down the line, or they're a threat already? I just want to know in the comments. Simple as that. I'm curious. I don't even know if they got top 64. If they got top 64, at least they're up there, but not enough. So, that soul charge would be huge. So, that soul charge. Anyway, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you have something to say about the YCS, or just a deck request in general, leave it in the comments below and I will get to it. I promise. And as always, thank you again for watching and taking time out of your day. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Till next time. Peace.